how to set occupancy limit for an area. Right, that's what we're about to see. Let's make sure we clarify what we're talking about. Let's say you have your access control system, you have it, or your customer system, and you need to set a limit for the quantity of user who can access that area. That could be a training room, any area where the need is. Okay, let's say you need inside you can only have 10 people. Okay, so you have to consider the correct controller, whether in, whether out, and everything else is configuration. Now, in order for you to do that with any EntraPass, whether it's special edition, corporate edition, or higher, you need a KT400 controller. With a KT400 controller, we'll be able to do that setting very easy. Okay, now if you want to do that because your system, you have different controller in different location, and the need is, you could move to global edition, because with EntraPass Global, using a global gateway, you can do that with any controller. Okay, now what we're about to see, let's take a look at what EntraPass we are using. As you can see, I'm using a demo version just to tell you that you can do that with any version 6.01. Just for you to see that's not new, it's there. Just please, let's see how to use that. Okay, now let's go to devices controller. Okay, that's as you can see, a KT400 controller. Make sure I have my programming right. Always better to have the name correctly. Okay, then you go to the option tab. When you get to the option tab, you're going to look for the anti-passback option area, which happen to be here. And here, we're going to go and look for the controller local area option. That's what you need, all right, for you to program, to get that programming works. Okay. Once I select controller local area, I have a new tab, controller local area. I didn't have that before. In fact, as you can see, if I say none, disappear. Now, before I select that, I want to show you something. Let's get to the door. I have reception door. You see my page there, reception. So you see, I want you to remember that under the door passback, there is nothing, for the moment. Okay, so now we back to the controller. Okay, devices controller. Remember, option tab. Then we're going to set the controller local area. Then we have different area available. It's a KT400 controller. You could have up to 4 area. And depending on what reader you use, you could have up to 8 reader. One for in, one for exit, one for entry, one for exit for the doors. So right now we have 4 area. Okay. Now let's take a look at the system that we have. As you can see here, well, let me explain what we have here before I start. Those arrows are the reader. So we have reader in, reader out, which means I have to swipe at the door using my reader to access the reception door, the reception area. When I'm leaving, I swap to the exit reader. And then there is another room there, I have a door, but there is no reader. And that happened. You have area with no reader, full egress. Then I keep walking, and when I get to the training room, I have to swipe to access the training room. And then when I'm leaving the training room, I have to swipe to leave the training room. Okay, now let me explain the need. The need is the training room can only have 10 person. at the same time. So will be, the need is to set the occupancy to 10. I mean, for my test here, I'm gonna set it to 2. So we can, 220, so we'll know how to get that done. Okay, so I will make sure that I have at least 2 users, and I'm gonna set the occupancy to maximum 2. So once the second user access the door, enter the training room, that's it. Unless one person leave, nobody else could access, should be able to access. Okay, so that's the idea. We're clear on what the need is. Now, let's move on with the programming. So we're clear, we have the local area 2, local area 3, local area 1. Those are labeled. It's up to you. You just need to make sure you know the area, which one is it. Okay, now we're going to proceed. And just to make sure we're clear on what needs to be done, here, if I am accessing training room, the question is, okay, to access training room, where am I coming from? I'm coming from local area 2. So it will be before accessing training room, I'm local area 2. After I swipe and I enter the training room, I'm in local area 3. That's the situation we're having now. Okay, if we need to do that same setup in reception, same principle, same thinking. That's the question is where I'm coming from. I will be coming from local area 1. After I swipe to the reader, entering the door to access reception, I will be arriving at local area 2. Just we need that to be clear, then we'll be good to go. I have to go to the door. All right, devices door. Let's find our way to the door. Okay. Now we have a couple of doors there. The one we really need for that setup is the training room. That's the one we're going to set up. Now, if we are that, we're going to set hard anti-passback, please. If we need that type of requirement, it's sure we have to make sure the setup is done that the user has to follow the rules. They have to swipe to access, they have to swipe to leave. So we set hard anti-passback. Okay, now we are in the training. Remember, based on the verification we made before, the question here is local area before we access that room, where we're coming from. When in our design, we're coming from local area 2. Now, after we get into local area 3, right? Now that we have the accessing the room set up, now we're going to set up leaving the room. So we went to training room exit. We set hard anti-passback, and we have the question, right? Local area before. Before is we at the room, we inside, which is local area 3 based on our design. And when we leave, we'll be back to local area 2. Of course, remember, we could go ahead and do that setup in reception because we also have reader in and reader out in reception. So we could go and do that. Okay, now we're proceeding with the programming. And now we'll switch to our live system. Let's switch to our live system. Okay, and everything we just done there, we're going to review our programming and we'll be able to test and confirm that everything is working fine. So we're going to take a look at our controller, right? Devices controller, the option tab, local area. That is clear now. Now there is one thing we didn't do on the other side. We didn't set the limit. Okay, here, if you look, remember that was local area 3, that's where inside the room. And right now we set it up to 2. The saying card threshold, we set it to 2, which means after the first user access, fine. Second user come to the door, they will be able to access Sure, because the limit is 2. Now, since here where it says deny access on area full, if after the second person the area will be full. I mean, if we want that, we need to make the check mark to select the deny access on area full. What we have done additionally, we also assign a relay. So when the area is full, there is a relay will be automatically activated, will remain active until someone leave. That relay can be the one managing the LED outside, the sign saying area full, which means the user can see. You don't even need to waste your time and swipe to the reader. The area is full. All right. Now we check where to set the limit. Okay. And then I think it's pretty much, we hope it's pretty much clear for everybody. Now, you know what? Just to make sure, because our system is, let's make sure we don't have anyone inside the area right now. There is a way to check that and to empty the area. As you can see, we are doing it. We go to operation controller. We make the right click on the controller, and we can call the pass back list. And then you can select the area. And what I'm doing right now, I'm switching everybody to unknown, which is, as the name says, is we're switching them to get everybody's out. So we show the system is clean, clear, with no one inside, and we'll be able to run the test. Okay, we clean up the event. You know what? Let's also add the relay. Let's call the relay. We go operation relay, and then, because remember, we also set the relay to be activated when the area is full. So we're going to do that, right? So we can see clearly, not only we have the event, but we can also see when the relay is activated. Okay, now let's go swipe to a reader. Actually, I'm going to swipe to the training room, the first user. All right, and we'll be having an access granted. As you can see, access granted, training room, and I just use the trainer card. Fine. All right, I use a card. So we have one user inside. Okay, we swipe the second card. Okay, and by swiping the second card, you can see the relay is activated, and you also see the event saying relay activated by an event. Okay, now we have 2 cards inside. Okay, we're going to do some cleanup. We're going to add the relay in the screen again. But right now you can see we do have the event and we do have the relay activated. Now, you know what? We're going to swipe, trying to, with a third person. With that, we should be having access denied, area full, and it should be with a color code showing you that that's an alarm. All right, we swipe and we do have access denied. It's telling us why, because the area is full. You cannot access. All right. The card is still under my name, but you see it's a different user. I'm having a couple of different users in that system, but those are different card, different user, just to avoid the confusion. It's not okay. Now the relay is still activated. Okay, the relay will be deactivated when we swipe, as we just did. We swipe one to the exit reader. Right? If you see access granted saying training room exit, so one person just happened to leave the room, all right, which means the area is no longer full. By leaving the room, the relay is also deactivated. That's pretty much, that's it. That's the programming. That's how you get it done. Of course, if I swipe again, now I'm going to use another. Okay, I just swipe and the process starts again. Okay, now the area is full again and the relay is activated because we set it to 2. We could set it to 20, to 200, to the quantity you need. Okay, so we wanted to be clear on how to get the programming done. Again, with KT400 controller, as you can see, we did the programming in a Entrapass corporate version 6.01, just to give you an idea. This is not something new. You can get that done in your system if you have KT400 controller. All right, it's just take a moment, get your design right, making sure you know which in with the exit with the area, and you do the programming. That's it. Let me show you. I'm going to devices controller, selecting a KT1 controller, and I go to option tab. You can see here you don't have the controller local area, which is needed to do that setup. I mean, unless you have global, because with global edition, that goes to all the Entrapass, all the controller, I mean. All right. I hope this video helped you and to see clearly how to apply occupancy limit in your system. Thank you very much.